and welcome back to my YouTube channel Think Simplified. Let's learn Python. Today we will have a look at using reading and writing of text files in Python. There are many times when we require use of text files. Say for example, to create a configuration file, that is the user setup file, user information file. We require audit trail file. Audit trail files are the files where we can store the what you can say, the events or the procedure and the data which the user has added, modified, deleted, so that we can keep a track. We can keep also track of login details, who has logged in, who has logged out, when he has logged in, when he has logged out. All such audit trails, they can be saved in a audit trail file, which can be a text file. Okay, because what happens is, in audit trail file, if we save this audit trail in database management system, the size of the database will grow. That is why we can keep this audit trail files separately as into a text file. We can create, we can write the text file, we can read the text files. Okay, so now we have to use the built-in module IO, that is it will contain opening of files, writing to the file, closing the files, right? So now let us start using one text file for output. Now let us say open the file name. Say suppose for example readme .txt. Okay, this is the file name. Now here we have to give mode. Now what is this mode? Mode, we can open the file in write mode. If the file is not existing, we can create a new file and write it. We can read an existing file. We can add data to the existing file. Okay, so for example, now we want to create one file. We will say W, right? Create a file. Then we'll write some now for example f is equal to write, so f will be the handle to this file. So now we can write to this file, f dot write. This is test txt file. Okay, close this. Now when we open the file in this open mode directly, we have to close it after we use it completely. Okay, so now suppose we want to write only this line. Say for example a text file, line number 1. Okay, line number 1. Okay, now we will close this file, f close. Okay, now we will read this file. Whatever we have written to this file, has it been written or not? So now we will read this file. Now f open the same file, readme.txt. Now here the mode will be R. Okay, R will be for reading the file. Here f is equal to open, right? Now we will read this file. Now how to read this file? Now here f read. Now for reading the text file, we have three options. One is the read. Read will read entire details of the text file into one variable. Read line. It will read one line at a time. That is, we have to use for loop for accessing this file line by line. There is another option called read lines. It will read the lines the entire lines into one variable, and we can access this variable to print out the details. So for example, now we will use one variable here. Variable 1 is equal to fread. Okay. Now we can print this, print variable 1. Okay, and now close this file. Right. So shall we run and check? Run this file. It will be as save this file. Okay, we have saved this file as files.py. So now yes. So now this file has been created. Now here, even if there is a file existing with the same name, it will overwrite. So we have to be very careful when we use this W. Okay. Now suppose the file was already existing, readme.txt, and we executed this, it will create a new file and it will write this line into the file. So now we are reading it back. fread, it will read entire text here. Okay, then we can print this variable and we will close this file. Now one thing here is to remember that whenever we open the file in this mode directly, we have to close this file, otherwise the file will remain closed. And if there are so many files opened during execution of program, it may extend, or it may be an access to the files open, so it will create an operating system error here. Okay. Now here, if you want to know more details about this open, we can ask for help here in Python interpreter, help open. Okay, now press enter. Now it is say squeeze the text. Now you have to double click on this, it will expand, right? So now here we can see the help on built-in function module IO, right? Open file. This is the name of the file. This is the mode. Okay. Then encoding, we can now, if we give this blank, that is none. This is by default, so it will read a text file. But now if the file is written in different language, you can use the encoding encoding set here. That is for example UTF-8. You can use it here. Okay. Now file either is a text file or a byte file. Okay. Now see here in detail, you can see here like this. R will be open for reading default. That is, even if you do not give this R as a mode to the when opening the file, it will read in it will be opened in the read format. Now this is open for writing. Truncating the file first. That is, if the file is existing already, then it will directly overwrite, erase all the contents and create a blank file, right? A is open for writing, appending to the end of the file, right? B will be for binary mode. You can write hex text into it. By default, this will be in the text mode. The plus will open this file for updating, reading and writing. It will be open in both modes. Okay, reading and writing. Now here special one option is there for creating a new file and open it for writing. Now if the file is already existing, it will show an error that the file is already existing. It sometimes happens that we tend to write to a file, but which was an important file. By mistake it would get erased, right? So it will be always better to check if the output file is already existing. Okay, like now for example I will show you here. Now here after this the file is already existing, right? So now we will open this again, f open readme.txt. We will open it in the write mode, that is we will use X here. Okay. If we had written W here, if the file was there, it would be destroyed. That is, all the contents will get erased. Right. So now it will check here if the file is open or not. Right. We will execute this and check. We will save this. Now see, it will give an error. This already it has written because we are writing the file, and the earlier file it was erased, right? So now this is the text line number 1. It has been written to this file. Okay, we have reading this file, so it will print. This is a text line number 1, right? Now we are opening the file in X mode. Now X mode is, it will give warning if the file is already existing, unlike W. So now it has given warning here. Okay, file this line whole F open, file exist error. So this is the error it has given, right? Yeah. Now we will see another method of using open and write and closing the files. We have to use a with statement here. For example, with, okay, open file name, same file name as read. Okay, now here array. Now here we have to use as read this, open the file as to say for example file. Cursor is moving upwards. A file. Okay, as file here. Now here write the code here. So whatever code we write here within this with loop with statement, all that will be executed, and once all the statements get executed, the file will get closed after the end of the with statement. Now say for example we will read this file now line by line. So we have to use this file now. This will be a variable, we can reference this file. Okay. So for example we will say print, we will say for line in file. Okay, print this line, print this line, right? Now we need not close the file, it will get closed automatically. Now we will execute this. Okay, so now it has printed every line here. This is line number 1, line number 2, line number 3. Okay, so this is how we can use a for loop to loop through each and individual lines. Okay, individual lines. Okay, there are the situations when we need to write multiple variables to a file. Say for example user ID, username and time. Suppose we want to write this into a text file. So for that we will do one thing, we will use user ID variable equal to 1, say. Okay, username equal to Anand here. Okay, then time will be say 9 AM, right? So now we are having 3 variables and we need to write this into a file. So we will use with, okay, open, we will say audit dot txt file. Okay, we will write it this file as as file. Right. So now we will write this file dot write. Now here within this double quote we can use the variable names here. For example, user ID, okay, comma username, comma username, okay, close this braces. Then third variable will be time, okay, time. Now close this. Now what will happen if we execute this? The file will contain these details, and we can read later on. We can read these variables into these variables here. Okay, so we will write it now. Okay, and close. Now we will write some code to access this file which we have written here, audit.txt file, with these three variables. Okay, now here we will use this with open. We will open this file, reading the file audit.txt, okay, as read, okay, as a file. Now here we will access the variables and print it. Let us say line is equal to this file dot read line, read line. So this line will get read into this variable line. So now we can assign. So now this line will contain the entire string here. Then we can split this by using a split function for this line, and then we can assign it to the different variables. Now suppose for example user ID, okay, username and time is equal to this line variable, this line, and we will use a split. We will use a split with the comma here. Now here this file, right, we are using a comma here as a delimiter, so that we can split this, the entire string, into different variables. Now we will print this variable and check whether we have written it correctly or not. Okay, now print this user ID, username and the time, right? Okay, now let us execute this. Right, so now we have written here user ID comma username comma time, this into one line in a write file, in a text file, and we are reading this. This facility, this utility is very important. Okay, we can write as many variables as we want, and we can access it later on, right? Okay.
Thanks for watching. If you found this video useful and informative, make sure to like the video, to show your support. Leave a comment below to share your thoughts and ask questions. Subscribe to our channel for more valuable content. Hit the bell icon to never miss an update. Share this video with friends who might need it. If you encountered any issues or have any problems, please let me know in the comment section. I am here to help.